All right, so this workshop, my High Fly workshop, is really designed to help you guys know, like, what does it take to earn $2,000 to $5,000 your first week, right? Go out, win the trip, win a scholarship, win a VIP night, win all these things. But I always like to talk about first, like why do it, right? Some people are super competitive and they just like to be the best at everything, right? So yeah, you're in the like 1% of the company, very small percent that ever do this. It's a big deal, to put on your resume that you hit the highest level of commission an entry level rep can make your first week on the job, your first 10 days. So that's pretty badass to be able to put that on your resume. And so giving yourself, 4 pay raises or 5 pay raises, pretty freaking cool. So I'm gonna go ahead and screen share and what that looks like. But when you sell, so let me show you this. All right. So basically, $10,000 to $20,000 in CPO, which is commissions paid on. We'll talk about that today. So your net sales, this equals, all right. And so I'll just put here, this equals you earning, all right, $2,000 to $5,000 in income. Cool. And by the way, I've had people do more. Sean Schrakey, he sold $30,000 his first week. Just like last week, there was someone in the nation that did over 30,000 who was brand new, and they earned over $8,000 in income, which is pretty cool. All right. So this right here, you win over $1,000 in prizes. All right, of Cutco actually. Win over $1,000 of Cutco. You have an opportunity to win the VIP night. All right. You have an opportunity because that's at 10. At 15, you're able to win the scholarship. All right. So that's scholarship. So I'll just put here 10K, win VIP night, 15K, win the scholarship. And then 20K, we always have where you're able to win 4 days, 3 nights, all expenses. Paid trip to somewhere tropical that we always do. All right. So this is what that looks like. And I'm going to show you what it takes to get to those levels, right? Because there's a formula, and that's why we're here to go over that today, to show you there's 7, I call it Kathy's Lucky 7. And I'm going to share 7 tips with you guys today that make a really big difference. All right. So let's talk about the lucky 7. Number 1, all right, you could write down, focus on the number of appointments needed. All right. So number 1, focus on the number of appointments needed. And that's going to be 40 to 60 appointments. Okay. So depending what level you want to go after, at a minimum, I tell people if you're going after 10,000, all right, 40 appointments. All right. If you're going after 15,000, minimum of 50 appointments. If you're going after 20,000, minimum of 60 appointments. And by the way, these aren't just whatever appointments, right? These are actual MAC customers, right? So with our target customers, and making sure, are you guys getting your best people lined up first? All right. Line up best people, because when you see your best people, not only does that give you opportunities for more promotions quicker, but more importantly, it gives you the best referrals possible. And so it really helps you build your base in a big way. Cool. And so we want to help you guys with that for sure. Number 2, all right. And by the way, don't forget this, like as you're doing the appointments, this is important because I've seen some people get discouraged after a day or 2 and give up. And I'm like, no, like you're going to have great days. You're going to have average days. You're going to have shit days. Okay. And so you have to know and understand that that's just part of the game, is that it's a numbers game. Like I always tell people, like sales and this job, it's a roller coaster ride. You're going to have ups, downs, twists all around. It's a fun ass ride, but you have to be able to be on that ride, right? So know that your best days come after your worst days, right? Like I had a day where I had 7 appointments. I'm like, dude, I'm going to crush today. I'm going to sell a couple grand. I'm going to make $1,000 or plus. Let's go. I sold like a vegetable peeler on the day. I was like, are you effing kidding me? I had like reschedule, no sale, vegetable peeler. I'm like, seriously? And like literally then my next demo day, I had a $5,000 order, on one sale. And so you have to know that there's going to be all different days. So do not focus on what happens today. So let's say you go out tonight and sell $2,000 and you're like, hell yeah, I'm a fifth of the way there, or a third or a quarter, depending on what your goal is, right? No, you're not. Yes and no, right? You're not only going to do that much more work because you're not going to have a $2,000, average sale 100% of the time, right? And so you're going to have $100 sales, 300, 500, 1,000, 1,500 and more, right? And you will, if you do what I teach you, which I'm going to go through here in my last steps, you can give yourself the opportunity for $5,000, $7,000 or more in orders, like in one order. So we'll show you how to do that. Okay. So number two, all right. Number two is focus on the number of calls per day. All right. Number of calls per day. So at a minimum, you want to be making 20 phone calls every day at a minimum. And so I always tell everyone, do that in the morning. Cool. Like the schedule for success when someone's going big, I tell them is wake up early, right? Be up ready to work by 7 a.m., like have had breakfast, whatever. And so by 7 a.m., you can study. All right. Maybe you're eating while you're watching a video or you're studying your clothes, but study from 7 to 7:30. All right. Watch something, learn, take notes, practice something. 7:30, hit the phones, make 20 phone calls. 7:30 to 8:30 a.m. Monday through Friday is when you're going to catch the most people that work. Cool. I don't know if you've ever been on the highway at 7:30 in the morning. I mean, here in Houston, it's insane. Like at 6 in the morning, to me, it's like how it was back in Miami at 7 a.m. or 7:30. I mean, it is just, bumper to bumper traffic in the morning. So 7:30 to 8:30, people are like, I don't want to wake anyone. Oh, they're in traffic or they're getting to work, So it is actually a really great time to catch people before they get busy at work. If you do have more stay-at-home moms, you can call them, like between 8:30 and 9:30, you'll catch a lot. Like after they drop the kids off to school at 8:30, that's a great time to reach stay-at-home moms, right? So just like knowing that. And then Saturday mornings between 8:30 and 10:30 is definitely prime time on Saturdays. Sundays, I don't call anyone before 10. Typically, I don't call till afternoon, but if you know them, you can call them after 10. But Sunday's usually more chill day, whether people go to church or if they don't go to church, but they just kind of sleep in. I mean, malls don't even open till noon, right? So just giving yourself that day. So the other thing you want to write down with calls per day is 5 before, 5 after. So go ahead and write that down. 5 before, 5 after. Every appointment, if you can get in the habit, and this is what all of our Cutco sales professionals, our guys who are in 6-figure incomes, they just make 5 calls before and after each appointment. They make their 20 calls in the morning. That takes about 30, 40 minutes. And then throughout the day, 5 calls before and after each appointment. If you do that, you always have business ahead of you because you will catch people at random times. And maybe one time you make 5 calls, you book 0, and the next time you made 5 calls, you book 2 or 3, right? And so it's just gonna, again, it's all a numbers game. So you have to commit to taking the right actions, because if you commit to taking the right actions, you're going to get consistent results, all right? Number 3, ring the rag on the number of initial people, all right? So write that down. Ring the rag on the number of initial people and referrals. The people that know you, all right, are the ones that can give you 75, 100, 200 if they wanted to, but they're the ones that they're so funny. They're just like, let me just find the ones that I know will be good, that'll really help you towards that scholarship, Avery. Like these people would be the good ones. And so they want to give you like 3 people or 5 people, maybe 7 people, but they could actually give you 50, 75, 100 or more. They know you. They have their phone. The average person in their cell phone has about 200 contacts. Cool. Mine is way more. I have well over 1,000, and some people it's less, but the average adult has over 200 contacts, in their phone. And so it's really about just going through and focusing on who's nice. Like, I always told them, hey, every nice mom, or just married homeowner or nice mom, every nice mom, every married homeowner, like those are the people that I really want to see. Because even if they buy or not, they're going to introduce me to more nice people. And I get paid every time I do the appointment, and it helps me out so much for my goal. And so really focusing on the appointments versus the sales, right? I always talked about my goal is to do 40 appointments this week. Thank you so much for helping me get one step closer. And by the way, keep a lookout, if you see anything that you like, you can get it today. Whether you have birthday gifts, weddings, Valentine's, Mother's Day, Father's Day, anything coming up, keep a lookout. But always having them keep a lookout. And that's in the manual, telling them hey, if you see something, you can get it today, but if not, I do get paid just to do it. And I'm and honestly, my biggest thing, and if you watch, remember McCall yesterday, he's like, my goal is that you like me enough to introduce me to everyone, that's my goal. And that's a free way you can help me out. And I can actually win a scholarship, just based on referrals that has nothing to do with sales. So I'll talk about that later, but when you sit with grandma, and if grandma gives you like, oh, these 7 people would be really good, Avery, you're like, all right, awesome, grandma. Now, who do you know that won't buy, but they're super nice like you? I'm like, I literally would love to see every nice mom or married homeowner, grandma, and so go through there, who's nice, who's not. I'm like, yeah, I'm like, don't hold back. I'm like, you can tell me who you think are going to be the really good ones that would be interested, but I would love to see everyone, because I'm just trying to build my business right now, network, and meet new people. All right. So make sure you really focus on that, because I see new representatives like, oh, these are going to buy, these are going to be good ones. I'm like, you never know. Some of the people they think are going to buy everything buy like one piece from you. Some of the people they think aren't even going to buy end up being some of your biggest freaking sales. And I've seen that for almost 2 decades. And I experienced that personally a ton. So they never know. You just need to go have fun. When a customer says they're not going to buy and they don't, they fell into the 4 out of 10 that don't buy. When they said they weren't going to buy and they did, they fell into the 6 out of 10 that do buy. Whether they say that or not, like, has no correlation as to what results you have. So just so you're aware of that. Number 4, high level of communication with the office. All right. And by the way, with number 3, ringing the rag, also, I didn't mention this, but just make sure you really focus on that sponsorship. And you'll see that later when we go through referrals and how to really rock your recommendations. Every 10 names someone gives you is a sponsor, So I watched, Caitlin the other day, she told a lady, oh, they uploaded like 9 on her appointment. And she said, oh, if you get, if you're able to submit at least 1 more, you're a sponsor, but if you can do 11 more, you're a double sponsor. And that's going to help me get closer to my 50 sponsors to get my $250 award. And they were like, oh, okay. And they helped. She's like, so who do you know that won't buy, but they're super sweet like you, right? And so that's how you want to do that. So again, back to number 4, high level of communication with the office. We should be the first and last people you talk to every day. Like your manager, like you should be like, oh my God, they should be so sick of me. Like you should talk to your manager probably more than like your boyfriend, girlfriend, parents, best friend, like in your fast start, just in your fast start. Beyond that, we don't want to talk to you that much. But in your first 10 days, if you're wanting to gun it, and hit these promotions and sell 10 to 20,000 or more in income, like you're gonna talk to us a ton at a minimum in the morning and at night, right? Clocking it out. But when you're new, you're calling in from every demo. So we'll talk to you 5 to 10 to maybe 15 times a day. You're not bothering. We actually prefer that because we're able to help you get better faster, right? Shorten your learning curve, and it makes you so much stronger so that in the future, we don't have to keep babying you all the time, right? We can just support you and guide you, but like, a lot of the stuff because we like hardcore hands-on coach to your first week. And so I always recommend that to people. I'm like, take advantage, like show up every morning, get coaching, get tips, talk to your manager because like I said, you're going to shorten your learning curve. So you get better faster and you're able to maximize the income on the work you do because you're doing the same work, but you're better at it. Your paycheck is a lot bigger. Okay. So again, average is 6 out of 10 buy, $300 average order. That's $1,800, $220. Right? Well, most of our top guys will have 8 out of 10. All right. And so just so you guys can see, that difference in the results of what happens. All right. When we're looking at this and we say, okay, this person, if you're doing 10 appointments, you have 6 sales. All right. And, times 300. So that's 1,800 total, right? Sales. And that your commissions, all right, earned when you're brand new, we'll just use brand new, is 220, all right? Or let's even just do it yeah, we'll just do that. But all of a sudden, when you are, when you're a little bit more experienced, all right, or you're just learning, right? Because I have brand new reps that have 80, 90% closing ratios, and their average orders are 500 or more. All of a sudden, you just sold $4,000 in total sales off the same work. Do you see that? So that's a big freaking jump. And just so you know, being brand new, $4,000, I'll tell you right now what that is in income. That's a $600 paycheck being brand new. All right. And when you're more experienced, again, just huge jump in income. When you're making 50%, that's $900 or $2,000 in income, right? Like it's a double your check, and you didn't do double the work. You were just better at your job. Okay. So that's why I really, really tell people like communicate. And that ties into number 5, which I already mentioned this, but number 5 is daily study. Cool. 30 minutes a day minimum. Daily study, 30 minutes a day minimum. You could do all 30 minutes in the morning, or you could do 15 minutes in the morning and 15 minutes later sometime in the day. But can you, at a minimum for 1 week, 30 minutes of daily study, right? It's kind of like going to the gym, like you're trying to hit like a big goal, you know, or you're gonna like trying to put on muscle for like that show, or you're trying to lose weight or whatever it is. Like you go hard for that time, right? So it's like 1 week and you go 30 minutes a day studying, no matter what, learn something, practice something, get better at something, because again, that's going to make you so much stronger in your skill set. And like I just showed, that will directly reflect on your paycheck. And you're not working more, you're just better at the job. So for 1 week, can you lay a foundation that's going to serve you for a lifetime? Is it worth it? Hell yeah. And all my top guys will tell you it was totally worth it. All right. I remember Carlos Luna, his first week, I told him, I said, with your closing, record yourself saying it, like record yourself singing it. Make it a song, make it a rap, do whatever, because the brain remembers words when there's like a tune to it, right? Like we learn songs and stuff. And so I said, learn it. And so he did. And I remember like his 4th day, he's like, hey, Kat, I know my close by heart. I was like, no way. He's like, yeah, I do. He's like, let me say it to you. And he like starts saying it. And I was like, nice job. And he's like, yeah, I made it a song like you told me. He goes, kind of weird, but you know, I was like singing it in the shower. My mom walked by and she's like, what are you saying? He's like, don't worry about it, mom. You know, and he was like, most people haven't had price buying cutlery. He's like doing his clothes. But the kid sold over 10K his first week, and he sold 10K the next 4 weeks in a row. All right. So he sold 50 grand in 5 weeks. And so every week he sold $10,000. He was an All-American scholarship winner, and he made over $20,000. You know, was it worth it? Him singing a stupid song, closing his first week and getting his numbers? Hell yeah, it was. All right. Every one of the guys I've coached, there's not one person who will be like, I probably shouldn't have like worked as hard or studied. Like everyone's like, God, I wish I would have done more. I wish I would have studied more. I wish I would have called in more. Like everyone always wishes they could go back and do more. So you know, like take advantage. All right. Number 6. All right. Number 6, start higher. All right. Start higher and higher. And I'm going to show you where you can do that with the family sets here in a moment. And number 7, once you get, so say after set, all right, so after you figure out their set, whether it's a homemaker set, a galley set, a starter set, a custom set, whenever you figure out the knife set that you want, now what you're going to do is never leave without 3 no's. Cool. So step 1, find the set they want, right? Because the kitchen knives is what we're known for most. Once we find that, don't leave without 3 no's. I have had no sales that turned into a sale when I did the next step. All right. Which is like upselling. All right. Accessorizing. So gifts and accessories. That's number 7. Never leave without 3 no's in gifts and accessories. So once we figure out what knife set they want, now we want to show them these additional products, because this makes a really big difference in the sale that you're going to have. All right. So let me show you guys what I'm talking about here let me pull up my vector demo. All right, there we go. All right, cool. So let me go ahead and screen share with you guys. All right. So if we go here to gifts and accessories, so once we figure out what set they want, you know, you went through the demo, you closed on the homemaker, you drop down, or actually I didn't show you this yet, but I'll show you right now. When you're doing your normal closing, we didn't practice this yesterday, but we're going to practice this today, you know, and you're like, hey, let me review why so many people choose Cutco, and then you go into like, you know, comparing prices and selecting the best option, and you tell them about the competitive cutlery. Normally you're going to say here, when something offers twice the quality and value and lasts forever, you'd expect it to be at least twice the price. At twice the price, you're talking over $4,000 for a set of Cutco. Cool. So it's like buying a really nice refrigerator or like a really nice set of tools, Craftsman or Snap-on tools. Now, as I said earlier, the Homemaker Plus 8 is our most popular set. It's perfect for families that cook 2 to 4 times a week. It has the 10 basic tools I explained earlier, the 8 table knives, the wood block, and the sharpener for straight edges. We also have the Homemaker, right? And you keep going through there and you're going to close on the Homemaker. And that's what you guys saw me do yesterday. Now, if you have, do you have a customer who here has a customer that like loves to cook or loves to entertain, right? Or maybe they have a big family, or who knows someone that maybe is a little bit more than average income, they're a little bit upper income, and they just love to have the best of everything. Does anyone know someone like that? You know, like that's huge. And so this right here, rewind. when you say when something offers twice the quality and value and lasts forever, you'd expect it to be at least twice the price. At twice the price, you're talking over $4,000 for a set of Cutco. And what you do, you see this little knife right here? All right, that little picture of the knife right there. All right, yes, no, head nods. All right, so this right here, you click it, all right? And when you click that, that knife, it's gonna take you to another, can you see where it's taking me to? It's like opening it. There it is. So it goes to here and you're like, so let me show you our ultimate set, which is twice as big. That would be a value of $8,000 in stores. And let me show you what you got for that. You get all 10 homemaker pieces for your homemaker set. You get and you keep going. If you were considered set, would you prefer the same one? So it goes from the complete set, which is the ultimate set. I call it the complete set. By the way, that's a tip in and of itself. Psychologically, you're going to sell more when you call it complete versus ultimate. Because some people were like, I don't need an ultimate set of knives, but psychologically, people want a complete set versus a partial set. Does that make sense? So it's a psychology verbiage. And I use that a lot, but I averaged one complete set a week in my career when I was selling Cutco. So complete set. Anyway, so it goes from complete set to the signature family set. All right. It goes to next. Let me see here. So complete set, then it goes to the signature set. All right. Which is kind of like a signature dish at a restaurant. This is the signature set. And then if they don't want to do that, then you go to the homemaker set. Okay. And this is why I said you want to start higher and end higher on number 6 tip, is because the higher you start, the higher you land. The average sale is made on the 4th or 5th attempt. Cool. So you guys being brand new, if you're reading the manual, it goes homemaker, galley, starter sets, pieces, and then you're like something. So that's where you are on the 4th or 5th attempt. Why do the top guys have $800, $1,000 average orders? Because they were like, here's a Cutco kitchen, here's a complete set, here's a signature, here's a homemaker, here's a trade-in homemaker, right? So like they're just getting to the homemaker at the end when you're like, you want to get something? So definitely the higher you start, the higher you land. It's not that you're going to necessarily sell the complete set or the signature, but by showing it, you're going to sell hella more homemakers. All right. Because they're like, oh, I'll just do the smaller one. Right. Versus starting with that. And they think that's the biggest. And they're like, I don't need the biggest. Right. So it's good to start higher. It gives you a chance to sell it, but regardless, it gives you the opportunity to sell way more homemakers. Cause you're like, you know what, Avery, I'll just go with the smaller one, and then, you had a pretty awesome sale. And by the way, the homemaker is the #1 most sold set for Cutco since 1949. And so again, it was designed to cover your basic kitchen needs, 7 knives, 2 forks and a spatula. It's absolutely badass. All right. So now once we figure out the set they want, like I said on step 7, never leave without 3 no's on accessories. So now we're going to go here and we're going to show them the accessories, right? You're going to walk through, you're going to show them the cookware, the flatware, right? I had a customer, remember Anthony, he was selling a galley and they didn't want to do a larger set. But that's the first thing we'll always show them is like a larger set sale. And guys, so many times, like Angie called in, my customer is definitely getting a homemaker with free scissors. I said, do they like to cook? She's like, oh yeah. I said, hey, show them the signature and the complete. I go, let her know the signature family set, which is for people that like to cook, do basic entertaining. I said, it has a cheese knife. I don't know if they do wine and cheese. I do a lot of it. Like it has the scissors in the block. It comes with 10 table knives or has the option for 10 steak knives. It has 3 cutting boards. I said it has the Hardy slicer that I use the hell out of that. It's one of my favorite knives. And you can muscle through tough jabs. It has a smaller for mincing herbs. So especially if you have like 2 people helping in the kitchen, you have your regular chef that comes in the homemaker, and then you have a smaller chopping knife for mincing herbs and garlic, and then you have the cheese knife, the Hardy slicer, the scissors, and the extra table knives or steak knives. So that's a really nice set. And I said, Angie, show your customer that and let them know if they wanted to do that and they got it today, we could either do like $180 discount, or they could pick out $450 of whatever they want for free with the signature. Cool. So when you tell them, just say, hey, just so you know, if you wanted to get this set today, I could actually give you, if you wanted to get the set right above the one you were getting, it comes with you could either do a 180 discount or $450 of whatever you want for free. Do you like that deal better, or do you want to stay with the homemaker? And her customer was like, ooh, I like that. Let's do that. All right. Same thing happened when Jeff did that. He was on his demo and he's like, hey, my customer is definitely getting a homemaker, wanted to see what deals, and then, same thing. They picked out $450 in like forks and spoons to add to their stuff, but they were super excited, and he was like, hell yeah, and his order increased by like $800, that's a big deal. When you make 30%, 25%, I mean, any percentage, but gets really exciting when you're in that 30 to 50%, because you literally asked a question and made $400 more. So again, you just want to make sure you're showing options, and so I'll show you guys that. So I'm going to flow through the gifts and accessories, and I'm going to give you a list of kind of like what I make sure that you hit these checkpoints, right? But again, Anthony's customer went from a $700 sale. He showed them cookware. Actually, no, his was flatware. Louis Ozio had one, but it was like a small sale. Then he added cookware. Boom. I had a customer who like, no, we can't afford a homemaker. No. They did a custom set. And then I said, hey, once I showed him flatware, the wife was like, oh my gosh, we need flatware. I want that. And it was about $1,600. She wanted the chest with 12 settings. And I said, hey, if you wanted to try it today, I said, you're actually going to spend the same amount as your custom deal if you put a deposit on the flatware chest, and I'll give you the custom pieces for free. I said, would you want to do that? Or you want to just, and she's like, oh my gosh, yes, let's do that. And the husband was like, I thought we don't have money. I thought we could, she's like, but we need that, And so for her, the knives weren't a priority, but the flatware was, and so all of a sudden my $250 sale turned into $1,600 sale because of the flatware, right? So make sure to show them cookware, flatware, and we'll walk through. There's extra table knives and steak knives. Those are some of the easiest add-ons, adding an extra pack of 4, 6, 8, 10. So getting extras. And so these are some like deals you can do with it. The buy 3, get 1 free, buy 6, get 2 free, buy 9, get 3 free. But very common to add those extra table knives. So make sure you guys show that. You want to show them the gadgets, right? Kitchen gadgets, wine opener, can opener, entertainer pack. Those are super, super, super popular. Cheese knives for people like me who love to do cheese and wine boards, cheese boards. And so this right here, you have different style cheese knives. This is the flatware I was talking about here. This is freaking money in the bank. So again, Anthony Camacho, he's the one that had an order that was like $600-700, and they didn't want a larger set sale. And then when he showed him the flatware, boom, he added that as well. And so he had, his order went from $600-700 to over $2,000 when he showed him the flatware. All right. Then you've got the cookware. Make sure you show that, like that turned, I had a paring knife sale. And then when I showed cookware, she's like, oh my God, we've been looking for good cookware. And I ended up having a $3,000 order instead of a $60 order or $70 order. So make sure you're showing the stuff. And so there's a cookware video. We're going to walk through how to show this today. But this is what I was saying. The top guys start by saying, hey, do you want to get the whole Cutco kitchen, right? There's gardening tools, outdoor stuff. There's gift sets that they might want to buy for weddings, birthdays, housewarming gifts. But also if they have gifts, you want to bring up, do you own a business or do you ever client appreciation gifts? Okay. This is huge. Last week, we had one of our, Matt, he had a customer order a bunch of gift sets, over $2,000 order, Chelsea actually last month had a customer buy a bunch of gifts for like the Christmas, and she had a $30,000 order. And they had a big company and a lot of clients they bought gifts for, but $30,000, she makes half. She made $15,000 on that one sale. Again, that's not normal, but you can get a lot of $2,000 to $5,000, maybe even $10,000 orders for gift orders for people that own businesses and do gifting, so that's a really cool thing that you can bring up as well. All right. So let me review this real quick. You could jot this down. So this is kind of like when you guys call in and let us know, you want to make sure that you're letting us know what's happening. And we're going to talk about this as a group. Mary Lou, or someone's going to go over this, but I'm going to tell you guys this right now. So my customer is considering, all right, my customer is considering when you call us. So these are the 3 ways that you're going to call in. All right. So I'm just going to put here 3 ways to call. Definitely jot this down. All right. So when you call us and say, my customer is considering, wanted to see what deals they could get if they got it today. All right. So this to us, just so you know, whenever you call and say they're considering, this means, and this is very important, you guys know that this means, all right, is that they have not bought. All right. So I just want to make a note of that. is that this means that they have not said yes. All right. So have not said yes. All right. So this is basically you're asking us, please close my sale. That's what you're saying to us. So customer, they have not said yes yet. All right. So right now it is a maybe sale. And so if it's a maybe sale, basically what we're going to help you do is close that order. Okay. So that's the first way, is you call and you say they're considering blank, wanted to see what deals they could get if they got it today. And so we know that this is someone who has not purchased anything yet. All right. They're just kind of like on the fence, on the bubble. The second thing is my customer is definitely getting whatever it is. All right. So they're definitely getting, or they're definitely buying. All right. Wanted to see what bundles or packages were available for the new year. All right. So in this case, all right, when you call us and say, hey, my customer is definitely getting blank, wanted to see what packages were available for the new year, what bundles or packages. And so what this tells us is you already closed the sale. All right. They said yes. And this is important. All right. So they already said yes. And so basically what you're wanting us to do is upsell. All right. I always say supersize my order. So this is where we can make your order larger. All right. And you want to make sure you call in the right way so we know what we're doing, and we've had people call in, that wanted that were getting something. And then when we did this, all right, let me see, can I move this? Yeah, there we go. All right. So when we did this, like all of a sudden they had a way bigger orders. All right. Because the customer's like, oh my gosh, yeah, that's such a great deal. Yeah, I want to get that. And so you want to make sure you call us because especially if they get a homemaker right away, it's so easy to upgrade them. All right. So I just want to make sure you guys know that. So if they say they're definitely getting, wanted to see what bundles or packages are available for the new year, I want you guys to learn the right verbiage. All right. And so we know like it's already a sale. So it's like you called in, they're buying a homemaker, and now we're giving them something bigger. And so this is really important because if we try to, if they haven't made a decision and we try to upsell, we're going to lose the sale. All right. So we need to know there's a yes before we upsell. All right. If it's a maybe, we just need to close the dang thing. So we know the difference with that. Number 3 is that you're calling to verify your appointment. All right. So calling to verify, my appointment. All right. This is when they're not buying, but actually, so I'm going to put here no sale, it equals 50-50 sale. All right. What we know is that half of those end up purchasing. All right. Half of those end up purchasing. Give us a shot. All right. Give us a shot. So when you're calling to verify your appointment, all right, as long as they liked Cutco, 50% of them end up buying. All right. Let us know what, so I'm just going to put here, have their top 2 to 3 pieces ready. All right. So know which ones were their favorites. All right. Know which ones were their favorites. And I'll tell you guys, like why this is important. All right. So again, keyword considering. All right. Keyword. So that means they haven't said yes yet. So I need help closing. Keyword definitely getting. All right. And the staff needs to know this so they know what they're doing. Are they closing? Are they upselling? If they're definitely getting, that's where when Angie called me, hey, my customer's definitely getting a homemaker, wanted to see what bundles or packages were available. And I said, oh my gosh, let's show them this deal. And then they loved it. All right. I missed the L and available again. And then when you're calling to verify, that means it's currently a no sale, but we know if they like it, it's a 50-50 shot. So at least give us a shot. All right. When we give you the deal, all right, this is the last thing that I'll share. When we give you the deal, you want to say, this is how you say it to your customer. All right. You say just so you know. All right. And so it's very laid back. I'm like, oh, Miss Susie, just so you know, my manager, said if you, wanted to get blank, you could get blank for free. And so you're basically just letting them know. So I'm like, hey, just so you know, my manager said if you wanted to get blank, you could actually get blank. All right. And get excited for them. Do you want to do that or, stick with your current order, right? And so this is really important, that verbiage, when you're with them. So you're just like, hey, just so you know, my manager said if you wanted to get blank, you could actually get blank. Get excited. I'm like, do you want to do that or just stay with what you had? All right. Or you're like, oh, do you like that better? So that's what I asked a lot. I'm like, hey, do you like that better? And so just, you've got to be excited when you guys are sharing a deal with them. All right. Because again, this makes a really big difference in them getting excited because your customers feed off of you. All right. They feed off of you. So this is important for you guys to know that they feed off of you. All right. So that is, those are the tips there. So just making sure you guys call in the right way. All right. So again, when you're upselling, we're always going to show them a larger set option. A lot of people will go with that. Always show flatware because you'll get some people that want flatware. Always show cookware because you'll have people that want cookware that might have not purchased. Make sure to show table knives and steak knives. People always like to add those. Kitchen gadgets, that can turn a sale into a no sale, right? Outdoor stuff, that can turn a sale into a no sale. And then guys, gifts, all right? Gifts is a really big thing. And that's the last thing I want you guys to write down. Write this phrase down. Say, are there any Valentine's, Mother's Day, Father's Day, birthdays, weddings, and Cassie, write this in here, but are there any birthdays, weddings, like give them like all the different holidays happening in this next 6 to 12 months that you might want to buy Cutco for, all right? So are there any that you might want to buy Cutco for? And then you just tell them like, hey, the reason I ask is because the more you buy at one shot, the more you save, all right? So the more you buy at one shot, the more you save. So go ahead and jot that down. So again, hey, Ms. Jones, are there any birthdays, weddings, holidays? We've got Valentine's Day coming up, Mother's Day, Father's Day, anything in the next 6 to 12 months that you might want to get Cutco, that you might want to get Cutco for. The reason I ask is because the more you buy at one time, the more you save, kind of like at Costco and stuff, like bulk purchasing. So I always like to ask my customers that. Guys, if you ask that, you will have a lot more sales. My biggest order was $17,000. All right. And my net sale was about $15,000, but it was originally going to be $600, all right, $600 to $800 with some, she already owned a complete set for 10 years. So she was adding a couple things she was missing and she wanted some accessories and some kitchen tools. And I went through that whole process and I showed her the cookware, I showed her the flatware, I showed her, and all of a sudden, guys, my order went up to about $3,700, okay? And then I said, hey, are there any, and I brought up the gift thing. I said, hey, in the next 6 to 12 months, is there anyone that you might need to get a gift for that you might want to purchase Cutco for? And she's like, oh my gosh, actually, and we sat down and this was like in August. When I did this appointment and we did a Cutco Christmas. I said, have you ever done a Cutco Christmas? I'm like, you guys own Cutco for 10 years. And so we made a list of everyone she would give Cutco for. And, long story short, she ended up doing it. I hooked her up with $2,000 of free stuff. She was super excited about it, got everything gift wrapped and knocked out her Christmas shopping. And so this wasn't additional money she was spending. She was rerouting dollars, right? She would have shopped at the Galleria, right? Back in Miami and Boca in the nice mall over there. All right. And she would have gone shopping and bought everyone Christmas gifts, but instead she did a Cutco Christmas and reallocated the funds she would have spent there to Cutco, right? So gifts are awesome because people are planning on buying them anyway. And so if they're excited about getting Cutco for someone, that can help get you a lot more sales on your appointments. Cool. So make sure you bring those up. And my last little ninja tip I skipped was when they say they're going to get a set, ask how many. Cool. Oh, how many did you need? When they say yes to the homemaker, they say yes to the complete, they say yes. Oh, how many did you need? And that might sound crazy, guys, but just by asking that, I asked a customer that, my sale went from a $2,000 order to a $7,000 order, right? Cal Pachetto, he asked that. He did a buy 3, get 1 free homemakers. The lady had 2 homes. So her daughter was getting married and then she got one for her mom, We had one of the girls down in Miami who's from Jamaica. Her uncle had a house in Jamaica and a house in Miami. And he was definitely upper income and he traveled a lot and he was buying a complete set. And I said, make sure to ask him how many he needs. And she's like, oh, okay. She's like, how many did you want? He's like, what do you mean? She's like, well, some people they like to have one in each house. He's like, that's a good idea. And I said, make sure he knows all of our sets are buy 3, get a 4th free. I said, so if he needs gifts for anyone, bring it up. And he ended up buying a 3rd for his sister and got the 4th free one for his mom. All right. She ended up having over a $7,000 order. All right. So I can go on and on with stories, but like just ask. You never know. And you never know if someone has another home, or maybe you do. If they have another home, you definitely better ask, hey, did you want one for each house? If you know they have 2 homes or more. But if you don't, just always ask. Be like, hey, how many did you want? Do you have a beach house or boat, or anyone else that you'd want to give something to for a wedding? And ask with confidence, and you shall receive. All right. So what we're going to do, we're going to give you guys some time to make some phone calls right now before we get started. You can also role play, and we're going to be role playing the closing, so you can see hitting that little knife picture, right? So it goes to the complete set instead of closing on the homemaker, because that gives you 2 additional drop downs before the homemaker, and it's going to give you more shot at the bigger sets. All right. So let's get